Just got here on site. These folks have already started working early this morning. We got open cell spray foam going in the walls. Look how fast it expanded. But there's some heat that comes off that wall from the chemical reaction, and then this foam is very soft. You can push on it, and they'll actually come in here and shave this so that this is a completely flat wall, so that the drywall will go flat against it. There's some of the roof deck done there, a little bit of the roof deck done there. I'll have all this roof deck to do. We got a lot of these exterior walls done. They're putting up some plastic barriers so that that doesn't go on the porch. And on like that, the mud room's done and the kitchen wall is done here. All right, guys, I grabbed Mason. He's trying to get this house spray foam, but he agreed to come on camera with us. Now, he is the same guy or the same company that did our mega shed. And in the mega shed, he used closed cell spray foam, and we talk about that a lot in that video. We'll link it down below. But the main reason I wanted closed cell over there was because the closed cell has a hard skin, and that was going to be the final finish inside that building. But here in the house, we're using what's called open cell foam. You saw it expanding earlier when the guy was spraying it, but Mason's going to tell us why he uses open cell as opposed to closed cell in the house.
Mainly because of the cost. You know, it's based off the buyer's discretion. You know, closed cell has got the structural integrity, adds that to it, 300% rack strength. It's got the moisture barrier, but open cell, it does a really good job at sealing off the building from the air. You know, it doesn't let the hot air inside, doesn't let the cold air inside, same, you know, doesn't let it outside. So it's gonna save you a lot of bill on your electric bill, or a lot of money on your electric bill.
So you're saying the reason that people don't do closed cell in a house is because of the cost. So what would be the cost difference if we said do this house at the same R value in closed cell versus what you're doing it for in open cell?
It'd be double or triple. I mean, it's a pretty good cost difference.
That's real shock on my face. I was thinking he might say, you know, close to double, but he said double if not triple.
Yeah.
And then what would be the advantage of it? You know, the disadvantage is the cost. What would be the advantage of closed cell?
In Florida, we get a lot of hurricanes, and so it adds a lot of strength to your bill. I'm not saying, you know, you might get some shingles ripped off, but I'd be pretty disappointed if your house came down with a closed cell.
Okay, so for builders, you do a lot of houses like ours here.
Yep.
That's kind of your primary business. How many people do open cell versus closed cell in a house like this?
I'd say about 80 to 90% do open cell.
So most people are trying to save costs. Like we mentioned throughout this build, everything is coming in more expensive than we thought. I forget what the amount was for this foam, but it wasn't cheap. And to think about a triple that price, it would be just outrageous. 100 square foot house. How long have you allocated to do this?
I put 3 days on it, but they might have it done in 2 days.
In 2 days, and that's spraying it, shaving it down, and all cleanup and everything.
Yep.
Okay. Another feature of open cell, and that's that it's better for sound deadening. So with open cell, you get better sound deadening. With closed cell, you almost get a little bit of sound amplification, and we've noticed that in our mega shed because it's a metal building with a metal roof, and when it rains, it doesn't seem like it's any quieter in there than before we foamed. Well, we appreciate your time. I'm going to let you get back to work. Good to see you again, and we'll link him down below. If you're in the North Florida area, look up Mason and Premier Insulation Plus. They'll do a good job for you guys. All right, we're going to peek through here and doing a little bit of the master bath. That's an external wall, so you want to make sure that wall is insulated well. I'm going to leave that alone and do something fun now. I've got the HISUN sector loaded up. I've got 3 bags of corn. I got the spin feeder with the legs and a ladder and a battery. And we're going to go put this up at the food plot. All right, we're going to put this feeder in the back corner back here. You can see the food plot's coming in great. The rye, wheat, oats, Austrian winter peas, and 2 different types of clover, all coming up great. I'm gonna put the feeder right here. I don't know if you can see it, but my deer stand's over there. Put it right here where nothing's planted, and just get it set up, get it filled, and hopefully the deer will start using it. When we bought this property 7 years ago, It was a hunting property for at least one guy. I don't know if he had a small little club here. And he had 2 feeders, one on the back fence line, and it was kind of just in a thick area that he cleared out. And he had 1 feeder where the house is, I think. Anyway, when we closed on the house, we said, we want you to leave the feeders there. So because of that, we have 2 of these feeders. In the background there is my parents' house, and it's not very far away. And we've definitely seen a downtick in deer activity on the property as we built buildings, and we're just, hear more and creating more noise and more human odor. Deb will occasionally see a deer when she's walking around the property with Bella, but it's up, it's set, and it should spit corn twice a day. Let's go in the garage and look at the spray foam. So we elected to spray foam the garage, even though it's not heated and cooled. Like we talked about earlier, they'll get shaved down because they stick out farther than the 2x4s. And that was an extra cost. I think that cost another $1,000 or so. But the reason we did it is it's Florida, it's hot, it's humid, and also it'll help a lot with sound deadening. But the garage is done foaming. Let's go in the house and check that out. They got plastic so they don't insulate the porch. Looks like he's trying to create some sort of cardboard wall there. So when you have the porch, you just don't want to waste a lot of money spray foaming the porch. Like there, that's porch ceiling on the other side of that canned light, right in between there. And the same thing on the front porch. You got cardboard to there, and then plastic. So I guess the foam will adhere to that plastic, and that just will create like an insulated wall between there and the front porch. So we're inside the house, and then we'll go through the threshold of the front door, and we'll see that, I guess none of that gets foamed. So the goal is to keep the heat out, or if you're in a cold climate, the cold out. And I guess it's gonna create a foam wall right up in there, and then this area won't be insulated at all, which makes sense, but it's hard to visualize. And I like to visualize and understand things when they're doing it, not to second guess builders because this is what they do for a living, but just so I understand it, and it's making sense to me. It's creating a sealed dome in there, and it doesn't necessarily have to go straight up to the roof deck here. It can be tilted and follow the contour of the trusses. So this wall is foamed, and that'll be foamed, and we'll go right inside, and all that will be foamed, and that'll keep conditioned air in here. Maybe it'll make more sense when we look over here. So we've got plastic there, that's the cardboard, and then that foam just hits that plastic and then creates a seal right there. And then that thermal barrier will go all the way up to the roof deck, and the porch is on the other side of that. Kind of keep a dome, keep conditioned air in here and unconditioned air outside. So this is the bathroom. That's an external wall, external wall, external wall, external wall. Look who I found. Miss Piney Grove. She's been inside editing.
Ooh, it's stinky. Spray foam is just cool looking. I know they're gonna shave it down, but this is kind of fascinating. Let's just paint it like this. Let's just have bubble walls. Starting to look like a house. You know what this just looks like? This looks like a padded cell. Oh my goodness. A little fascinated by the spray foam though. So this is the open cell, so it's squishier, right? Yep. It's porous and softer. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, boy. It's like bubble wrap. It's like worse than bubble wrap. I don't want to make it. Okay, stop. See, we got it. They're going to kick us out of our own house. They're going to wonder what came in and poked all holes in the spray foam, but wow. A lot done in one day.
All right, we're back at it, or I should say they are back at it, and it's a chilly morning. We woke up this morning, it was 40 degrees. It's about 50 degrees now, but the spray foam guys are in there spray foaming. They're also cutting off the foam to make the walls flush. They're cutting that off. So he's up there. He doesn't have a walk board or anything. He is just holding on to the trusses and working his way around and making sure he gets, 4 inches or 3.5 inches or so of foam coming down off the trusses from the roof deck. He's doing all that himself. He's pulling the hose for the foam and then just spraying above him. That's the most important place to get. That's where you're going to get all your heat loss and also your heat transfer from outside with the black shingles. That's pretty impressive because he doesn't have a stable platform. He's just hanging out on those trusses and spraying. One thing that was an afterthought, and I mentioned this to the general contractor, was we probably should have put walk boards through the attic. And we didn't think of it till after the HVAC was in and the electrical and the plumbing. So it was too late to do it. It would have took a lot of time, and time is money. If we had a walk board from the scuttle all the way to the back of the garage, then they could do a lot of work in the attic and have a stable platform to work from. But we didn't think of it. To make sure we get all the R value that we're supposed to get, any places where it's missing foam, Mason said they'll come back and they'll hit those again, let them expand, and then cut them again. We're also going to be doing some internal wall insulation. So walls like that around the closet and this wall here will get rock wool insulation, which is a thick insulation that's very dense, and we're going to be using that for sound deadening. So we want the master bedroom to have a lot of sound deadening, and we want the laundry room to have a lot of sound deadening. And then this is the living room wall. That'll get it, and probably all the way around the walk-in closet. I was kind of surprised to see the Sawzall with like a 4-foot blade on it. Maybe it's a 36-inch blade, because what I've seen before, like a razor or something, and it's like 3 or 4 foot wide, and it rotates and it trims as it goes down, like I don't know, like some sort of drum. And it's got some sharp teeth on it. And as that drum rolls, you do like 3 or 4 bays of 2x4s. So this is the first time that I've seen a long knife like that cut foam. He's doing some final chisel work, making sure he gets all of the corners clean. So spray foam is expensive, more expensive than fiberglass, but it gives you better R value, better insulation. But it does heat up your roof deck. So they say that spray foam actually might reduce the life of your shingle, but it's a trade-off. Do you want to spend more money on energy, losing it through poor insulation, or do you want to replace your roof in 19 years instead of 20? All right, so why is there no front door, Deb? Who do we blame on that?
There is no front door because Home Depot, they're like leading us on is what they're doing. They're like a bad boyfriend. They keep leading us on saying, hey, we'll be right there and with your door, and they've not been right here with our door. So it was supposed to be delivered today. We have no door. And not only do we not have any door, we don't have any shipping for our front door. So Home Depot, help us out.
The joys of building, most things have been kind of seamless and supplies have been readily available, but front doors they're just hard to get. They're expensive and they're hard to get. Deb, you want to talk real quick about the spray foam and what is this yellow stuff around like the mudroom?
Okay, yes, let's talk about the spray foam. It's kind of self-explanatory. Spray foam is foam that is sprayed for insulation. So they sprayed it, we played with it. They didn't kick us out of our own house. They came back and they shaved it, as you've seen if you've watched the video. And this is our final product. So we're real pleased about this. We've gotten such good results out of the mega shed with the spray foam. We're excited because this is the last process before sheetrock.
So the walls have 3.5 inches of open cell spray foam, and Mason over at Premier Insulation Plus, he says that gives the walls R13 value. Ceiling, or the roof deck, I guess, not the ceiling, is R23. And when we put the ceilings in with drywall, there won't be any insulation above the ceiling, so we're gonna have what's called a conditioned attic, and that air up there in the attic will be basically the same temperature as the air down here in the house. And what that does is it keeps all the HVAC plenums in conditioned air rather than in a 100-degree attic. And that just makes the house more efficient, keeps it cooler or keeps it warmer. And also, we don't have any soffit vents or anything. This house is 100% completely sealed off from the outside elements. But Deb, what is that yellowy greenish stuff there on the mudroom wall?
Looks like regular insulation, but no, it's not. This is rock wool for insulation and sound deadening. So this I really like because where we have this placed, we have it placed around the mudroom, which will have the washer and dryer, and then we have it outside of the bathrooms. So that will insulate pipe noises, toilets flushing, water running.
So we can already tell a big difference from outside noise in here. So you got the spray foam on the outside exterior walls, and you have the rock wool on some of these interior rooms. And when you go in those interior rooms, it is just really, really quiet. So it's going to get even quieter once the sheetrock goes on. But there's one more room that also got rock wool, and Deb's going to tell you about that.
So this wall is the living room wall, but on the other side of it is our master bedroom. So this will further insulate our master bedroom. So insulate it from the air conditioning closet, insulate it from the living room. So if I want to go to bed and Brad wants to watch TV, it'll be quiet. So again, here and in the bathroom.
So all these walls here, this one right here, that's an exterior wall, but this wall right here goes to the living room. So Deb, this is the master bedroom, and it's not only insulated on the outside for heat transfer or to keep it cooler, heat or hot in here, but it's also insulated there to keep it quiet, so you can have those nice, restful, peaceful nights or those mornings when I get up earlier than you.
Yep, I might actually sleep past 7:15. Who knows?
But this will wrap up the weekly update. Deb, you got any parting words?
I don't. We're just happy to share our progress with you. We hope you continue to follow us along.
All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next video. Take care out there.
Take care.